Water collection technologies are harnessed to harvest and conserve water, either from runoff, precipitation, groundwater, among others, for judicious water management and utilization of various purposes. Today, I will share some of the various collection technologies and interventions done in the regions.
The DOST with partners introduced the microhydro technology in 1995 to these communities. 2 years later, the first light bulb was turned on in Malibkong, Abra. Thereafter, initiating a series of microhydro projects that would win the hearts and appreciation of adjoining communities. More than 10 years after its turnover to the community in June 1997, the plant is still in good upkeep. The 8 kilowatt capacity plant continues to light 44 households. Rice milling charge is pegged at 8 pesos per 16-liter can. The residents are charged for lighting services at 15 pesos per month, with an additional 5 pesos for radio and 10 pesos for television sets. This generates an average monthly income of 1,200 pesos for the association, which is used to maintain the power plant and pay wages for the operator. The money is used also for emergency loans to members of the association. GACAB MHP is an upscale model after the Dulaw MHP. It has a rated capacity of 18 kilowatt, servicing around 70 households. The plant design is considered to be a low-head model that requires more water to run its bigger turbines. This project was spearheaded by DOST CAR with support from PSHERD, the provincial government of Abra, and the Diocese of Bangued, Abra. To ensure the proper operation and management of funds from the powerhouse, the residents formed the Banagan Microhydro Power Association. The MHP in Barangay Latay was established on April 6, 2006 with funding support from Senator Rodolfo Biazon. Extending the power lines to the adjoining barangays is credited to the efforts of the respective barangay officials with funding support from PLGU Abra. DOST CAR provided technical assistance. Rated at 30 kilowatt, it supplies the energy needs of 5 sitios in 3 adjoining barangays. The Latay Electric Power Cooperative was formed in 2006 to properly maintain the operations and manage the funds coming from the power plant. However, the cooperative is still to formally register with the Cooperative Development Authority. The implementation of the SAFE program on DRR in CAR by the 6 CAR SUCs paved the way for the introduction of SNT interventions on adaptation and mitigation measures at the farm level that aims to increase the capacity of farmers and communities to mitigate the adverse impacts of climate change. SNT interventions of the SAFE program include construction of water harvesting tanks and installation of drip irrigation for areas that suffer from drought during dry months. With the project, 8 water harvesting tanks were constructed as common service facility with a minimum of 7 to 10 households per tank. Also, 232 farmers were provided with plastic tanks. A project headed by the Benguet State University and funded by DOST PCAARD is the development of rainwater and fog harvesters for agricultural use in Baguio and Benguet areas. The project aimed to help alleviate water scarcity during the dry season in the locality, starting from November up to May. The project was implemented in 3 main sites in the province, namely Kibungan, Atok, and Tuba. Water collection interventions are being strengthened, specifically in the CEST and GIDA areas. Some of these interventions are the installation of solar-powered water pumping system with filtration and treatment facility. This is one of the interventions of DOST Mimaropa in the farthest island of Romblon, which has limited access to safe and adequate water. Now, with the installation of the solar-powered water system with filtration and treatment facility, continued access to clean and safe drinking water at any time of the day is guaranteed. The small-scale irrigation projects is the flagship program of the Department of Agriculture through the Bureau of Soils and Water Management. Specific projects include small water impounding projects, diversion dams, small farm reservoir, shallow tube wells, pump irrigation system for open source, spring development, and alternative prime movers for pump irrigation system. In these systems, the water sources are already developed, examples, rivers, lakes, wells, that require energy to lift water to point of use. These systems include hydraulic ram pump, wind pump, and solar pump. Water collection technologies are like an insurance mechanisms for the community. It acts as a buffer against the variability of the rainfall regions and therefore increases the resilience of the farmers against dry spells as well as rain-fed crop failure, inasmuch as it allows farmers to secure at least one dry season cropping. Recently, farmers and GIDA communities feel increasingly vulnerable to water shortages. Consequently, the demand for water storage is rising. The more unreliable the natural supply of water becomes, the greater the need for water storage. With stored water made more accessible, the people feel less vulnerable to climatic fluctuations and will have a great effect in terms of sustainable agricultural productivity. The water collection technologies are necessary to respond to the increasing demand of safe and quality water, not only for domestic, but also for agricultural and industrial purposes. The DOST regional offices are committed to continue providing the much-needed water-related technologies for countryside development.